Hello, and welcome into my channel, Skies and Flora. My name is Shaka, and as you can see from the title, today we are doing What Do I Need to Know? Pick a Card reading. So this is for the week of the 15th of May to the 22nd, and this is just a general check-in, our weekly check-in, seeing what can we expect for the week ahead, what can we look out for, and yeah, it's a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest, and you may be drawn to a few of the different piles, and maybe there's cross messages in each, and if you want a specific message, then you're more than welcome to book in with me and have a private reading as well. So just things to look out for this week, as I'm sure many of you already know, Mercury's got into retrograde this week, and we also, Jupiter's also transit into Aries, and we also have a full moon on Tuesday, I believe, and it's in the sign of Scorpio. So I'm not an astrologer, but I do pay attention to the movement of the planets, and things that we can look out for this week. As I was tuning in before I started this video, is around, really, it's a transformational time. This is also obviously connected to the Scorpion energy of the full moon, but it's also this time of year. We're starting to come into summer now, so it's a time of, I want to say, like a turnaround. So this is a turnaround period, because this is when things are starting to really blossom into fruition, and it's actually incredibly positive that we have this retrograde with Mercury, because it's a time to kind of pause and reassess. I don't know if you can hear, but I've actually got a cold, so I've actually been very, very unwell, and I've really taken this as a time to kind of pause, reset, realign, and sorry, excuse me. Excuse me, sorry. So it is a really a time to really prepare for the fullness of summer. Yeah, we've been planting these seeds as we look over the whole of the annual calendar. Planting these seeds as we root down into the winter season. Spring, we start to see the sprouts come up, and then with summer we start to see the fullness of the seeds that we've planted. And this period is really a period for assessment, reassessment. It reminds me of the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a time for us to see what we've planted and adapt and change as we need, to hone and align as we need, in ready for the full blossoming of what is to come. So without further ado, that's just a little overall energy. So this is the turnaround moment, but we also have this moment of pause before we really get into the full energy of summer. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So just take a moment, tune in, just drop into your heart space, take a few deep breaths, and just see which pile you're most drawn to, most aligned to. And then we'll get started. Okay, so pile number 1 chose the Wayo Tarot with this lovely red jasper. Red jasper is really good for willpower. So this is my willpower stone. So when you really kind of need to, if you're fighting something or trying to do something that requires a lot of willpower, it might be, giving up smoking, for example, or anything else that kind of requires you to be really, really strong in your mind, or stick to maybe a diet or stick to an exercise regime. This is a really good stone for that. So let's see what you've got to look forward to for the week ahead. Pile number 1. Okay, so we got take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. Right. Okay, let's see. We've got the King of Pentacles, the Strength card. Wow. 8 of Cups, 8 of Discs, Emperor. Wow. Well, I'm not surprised you're being told to exhale, right? Man, you've been working very, very hard. Man, this is really so interesting that actually whoever I'm talking to maybe doesn't need willpower, actually, because I've seen plenty of willpower here on this board. And actually, this is that message, that exhale. See, in yoga, the inhale is the expansion, is the active principle, yeah? The exhale is the receptive principle. It's the softening principle, the surrender. So you've got here to take time to breathe out, yeah? So we've got plenty of inhale, we've got plenty of action, plenty of masculine energy here. And actually what we need is to balance this out. Let's see. So there's been a real focus on the work here, real focusing on the pentacle, the path, the vision, and really, like, I really feel like this has been, whoever I'm talking to, this has been like almost like a diversion, I would say, like almost like a diversion away from emotional matters. Yeah, because you've only got one cup here on the whole board. Everything else is discs and major arcana. And the one cup you've got here is the Eight of Cups, which talks about walking away from things that don't serve us, and taking a new adventure into the unknown towards something that is really meaningful for us and genuinely satisfying. And it looks here like, so you've got the Eight of well, look, you've got the 8 in terms of the Strength card. You've got the Strength card, the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Discs. That's incredible. That's a turnaround, yeah? So this, I feel like someone I'm talking to, this message will be, you know, you've turned your woes, your sorrows, poured them into your work, and then, you know, created like a new path for yourself. You've almost like just turned away from emotional matters and poured them into, you know, creating, working, building, you know, incredibly focused, yeah? Incredibly focused energy. I feel like this has been very fruitful because you've got the King of Discs and the Emperor. So both of these are, you know, obviously very masculine energies. It doesn't need to be a man, obviously. It's a masculine energy. So this is really, really like, you know, almost like a empire building. And it doesn't have to be like literal empire, as in like P. Diddy or whoever, or like whatever, like other billionaire. It can just be the empire of your own environment, yeah? So like really taking control of your environment and really presiding over it. So that could be your home, that could be your work, could be both, could even be your local community. So if you know, very active in your local community, like here in the UK, we've just had local elections. So even this could be someone in, you know, in the area of politics, where there's a real presiding over an arena, I want to say, like some kind of arena, and, you know, really, I want to say, like, almost, what's that saying when, you know, when you, with a, you know, like with a, it's not with a whip, but it's like basically like when you know, when you really, like quite strict, basically, like quite strict and quite disciplined and quite focused. Like I said, the focus coming from here. And I think just the message here for you is like, well done, yeah? You've really turned your sorrows into something more productive, yeah? Turned your dissatisfaction into something that's actually really beautiful and is really serving the world. And maybe this week, in terms of, like I said, this is a turnaround week, just maybe finding a bit more balance, yeah? Softening a little bit, particularly with the Strength card. Because, you know, when we talk about strength, the Strength card is, you know, it is lion-hearted, you know, courageous energy, you know, being brave, taking difficult decisions. You know, the Emperor is a decision maker, yeah? And making decisions, especially if they affect other people, they're not easy, yeah? So sometimes we avoid taking decisions, you know? Emperor doesn't do that. Emperor doesn't shy away from responsibility. Neither does the King of Pentacles, right? So I really feel like I'm talking to someone who's really stepped up into that leadership space, yeah? Real leadership space, really, you know, taking a lot of, shouldering a lot of responsibility. And this Strength card, you know, it says, you know, there's a gentleness to this. And I feel like this is incredibly positive. So whatever effect you're having in the world, whatever leadership you're taking, like I said, that could be in your own business, you know, your own entrepreneurial endeavors. It could be in a role, in a job, in a career. Like I said, it could be in the area of politics, could even be in the area of the home. Yeah. So wherever this is, where you are presiding over this domain, and I feel it's incredibly positive. Yeah, you're creating a lot of positivity for others as well, and I feel like this is just saying, but don't forget about yourself. Yeah, don't forget about yourself. Don't forget about, you know, that gentleness or that that shouldering of responsibility that you offer to others. Just don't forget to also give that to yourself. Yeah. I really think that's a really simple message, which is just really like, whoever I'm talking to, just like incredibly, like, I just feel like, well done, incredible. We need people like you in the world doing the work that you're doing. You're really holding space, really holding the fort. Yeah. And that's a lot of responsibility, and to some extent foregone. Yeah. Some kind of emotional receptivity here, because I'm seeing that that's sort of been left behind in order to pursue this. And I feel like for you, maybe this is just, maybe it is a break, a holiday, a bit of time off, you know, some annual leave, whatever it might be, but just to soften a little bit. Yeah. I feel like this would be very good for you, and I think there's more to this story, because I think we could, I could pull more cards and talk about the emotional aspect here. What's going on here? Can we invite more emotionality? I don't think this is not saying that there's no emotion here, but it's like almost like you've put that away, yeah, in order to focus on this, and that's been incredibly positive for others. In terms of this, you know, space holder, yeah, visionary, but also we need to not forget about ourselves, yeah. So this is a week to exhale, receive, look after yourself, soften. Strength isn't just about brawn, and, you know, it's also softening, yeah, knowing when to receive, knowing when to tame the beast. Yeah? And just be mindful, if we're just going at it, in order to avoid some emotional disappointment here, then just be mindful that we're not doing, we're not ignoring our emotions, essentially. Yeah? So that would just be the message here. Well done, doing fantastic. Like, need people like you in the world. You know, this is awesome, but also don't forget yourself, and don't forget your emotional space, and to look after yourself and soften. Exhale. So you got the stone of willpower, but actually you've got incredible, boundless amounts of willpower. So yeah, I hope that resonates. Hope that makes sense. And I will see you again next week. Thank you for watching. Okay, pile number 2. Let's see. So you've got the Mookite Jasper here. No, sorry, Dalmatian Jasper, sorry. Or Dalmatian Stone. Nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. Ooh, right. So we're really in this is very flexible energy. We're remaining flexible. Let's see. Let's see what we've got with the cards. Strength card again. We had strength card in pile number 1. 9 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and the Wheel. Right, let's see. Let's see what we've got here. Well, there's a lot of cups on this board. So you've got cups and then 2 major arcana. Very interesting. Very opposite to pile number 1. Okay. Okay. So this is about, right, this is the energy that I'm feeling with these, right? Particularly with this mutable moon here, yeah? You're on the path, but you've just slightly, like, I feel like what I'm seeing is I'm seeing this big strong path here, and I just feel like I'm just next to it. So I feel like here, all we need to do is just almost just slip back into the path, yeah? You know that because you've got the Four of Cups here. So you've sensed that, yeah? You will have sensed that. Oh, slightly moved away, yeah? Slightly away from the path, yeah? That's what I'm sensing here. And this week is just about getting back into it. It doesn't feel like there's a big shift to do. It's just like we just have to soften, come back into this path. Yeah, you've got this Four of Cups slap bang in the middle. So that says a little bit of malaise has set in, a little bit of, I want to say like itchy feet, like a little bit, you know, dissatisfaction. Yeah, it doesn't feel major because you've got it surrounded by all of these positive cards. So that's why I say your path is there. You're not that far away from it, but just a little bit has a little bit of malaise, a little bit of itchy feet that stepped in, and that's just telling you that there's some things we have to do basically to get back on the path. Let's see. Why is that? What's happened? So what's coming to me straight away is you know, we mustn't forget our why. Yeah, why we do things, why we do what we do, right? Because in times of difficulty, or in times of, you know, when the road is a bit rough, that's what we must always come back to, because that reminds us why we do what we do. Yeah, what motivates us in these times. And here I just feel like maybe just lost sight of that a bit. Yeah, so either, you know, you've set off on an endeavor and you have been pursuing this path, and then somehow it just feels like somehow we've suddenly slightly come off course, like slightly come away, and then you're feeling it more in your emotional space. So I don't feel like you've noticed yet where you've come away from. I feel like you're more in this emotional space where you're like, this is not good. I'm not feeling this. And that's your signal, yeah? That's your signal telling you that something's, you know, and that's where we can realign. That's where that signal there, that Four of Cups is our signal. That there's action to be taken, yeah? And that we have to realign. And the lovely thing about this nothing is set in stone, the mutable moon, is that it's still all to play for, yeah? Nothing is like rigid, you know, you don't have to stay here. Like, even if you're here, you don't have to stay here. You can move, you can shift. So that's telling me you've got flexibility, yeah, to kind of to basically realign. You know, Wheel of Fortune here says there's an aspect of destiny here. There's an aspect of timing. And this Ace of Cups tells me this is about self-care. This really, really feels about self-care. I'm really feeling an energy of really looking after yourself. Yeah? And that feels like it really does feel like, and maybe this is similar, maybe this is related to pile number one. It's very interesting because what I'm seeing is like, look, if you've been working quite hard, if you've been doing quite a lot, if you're not feeling so great, you know, sometimes as well, Four of Cups for me is also my card of like not feeling grateful, yeah? So when we get in the Four of Cups, I'm not grateful, I don't really know I'm not feeling thankful about things, yeah? And this Ace of Cups is like, okay, so how can we get back in touch with that feeling of gratitude so that we can get back in touch with that joy of life, getting back in touch with what we want, which then motivates us to get back on the path. And Strength card here feels like faith, yeah? That faith to get back on the path, and faith in the path, faith in what I'm doing, that lion-heartedness to stick with the goal, stick with the path. And that Ace of Cups feels like literally a hot bath, you know, just a nap, like doing something really nice for yourself, like a pedicure, manicure, whatever it might be, or a massage, or going to a spa, going to a sauna, steam, doing something nice. whatever that may be for you, is go and get your hair done, maybe go and buy yourself something nice to wear, or something nice for the house, or, you know, a scented candle, or I don't know, like a, you know, make a special games night for yourself, or like a date night with yourself, or with your partner, or with your friends, like something nice and joyful for yourself, like something that makes you feel good without any agenda. So not like, oh, I'm going to make myself feel good so that A, B, C. Just literally make yourself feel good with no agenda. And I feel like this little slippage away from the path, woo, slips right back in. Yeah, that comes flooding back in. Oh yeah, that's why I do it. That's what I want. That's what, like, that is, you know, reminding yourself, yeah, of who you are, what you're about, what you want, what's your, you know, like, I love this Nine of Cups with the in the Light Seers Tarot. It is like this pot of gold essentially, and I always say that pot of gold is like the gold of our golden self, yeah, our higher self, our soul purpose, and it's like getting back in touch with that again so we can remotivate ourselves. And that Strength card just feels like faith. So whoever I'm talking to, I just feel like you've got room for flexibility. Like I said, I think this period is a little bit of a reassessment period. You're not that far away. You haven't like come miles away from the path. You just slightly misstepped, yeah? Like slightly, oh, and then you felt it, yeah? You felt it before you could see it. And that's just saying, look, a little bit of self-care, just doing something nice for yourself. I feel like that's all that's needed. So this week, please make time for your spa, your sauna, your nails, your hair, your whatever it is, your nice hot bath with candles, whatever it is. I also like really recommend getting a water bottle. This has changed my life, and water bottles revolutionized my life. So like, you know, these comfort things, just feel good for feeling good's sake. That's it. Yeah, so I just feel like whoever I'm speaking to here, your message this week is just look after yourself, do something nice, a bit of self-care, just feel good. And I feel like you're gonna slip back into that path again, back on our way to destiny. You've got a little bit of flexibility. So if that's like, you know, if you've like, you know, if you've had a little bit of a regime and you dropped off a little bit, then you noticed, oh, like, you know, whatever it might be, exercise regime, your diet, you know, maybe you were doing runs, you were doing like, you know, whatever you were building up to 10K or 5K, whatever it might be, doing something that you were on a mission. I feel like on a mission. It could be like your work, an entrepreneurial endeavor, or even a relationship, you know, like, you know, it was going well, but just slightly come off course, yeah? Just slightly, that's all. And this ain't just, it will slip back into place. We just need a little bit, we just forgot a little bit, yeah? Forgot our why for a little bit. But just a little bit of time and space, it will come back on the road, yeah? And you've got a space for flexibility. So best of luck with that. And do let me know how you get on. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you again next week. Okay, welcome in pile number 3. So we've got the Do More Teary-Eye and the Witch's Tarot. So let's see what we have in store for you this week. Oh, a time of healing. Okay, let's see. 8 of Swords, King of Swords, 2 of Wands, the World, Hanged Man. Okay, all right. This is quite big. Quite a big message this is to everyone I'm talking to. Let's see. Okay. Well, someone's all in their head about something. All up in their head about something here. This may be you or whoever you're dealing with. This is someone who is, and again, you know, you know, swap around the energies as you need. This is somebody who's all up in their head, yeah, and who has almost created a construct for themselves. Very difficult to come out of this energy, yeah, without any cups, because I'm not seeing any cups on the board. This is an Eight of Swords. This is like mental bondage, like my minor arcana of the devil. It's kind of like I've almost backed myself into a corner with this kind of very rigid way of seeing things, very rigid way of looking at things, very rigid way of being. And now I'm backed into a corner and I'm stuck, basically, yeah? And this too, with this energy, this is wrong and strong. This is someone who's wrong and strong, yeah? So I don't know if this is someone you're dealing with. If this is a very difficult energy because it's impenetrable, yeah? It's very difficult to deal with someone like this. Like I said, I'm not seeing any cups on the board. Without any cups here, it's very difficult to get through to somebody like this. And the thing about it is the Eight of Swords, you know, it takes this interesting because straight away I see the Two of Wands and I see this little cat here, which reminds me of like the courage, yeah? The courage to come into our heart space, the courage to come into our emotional space. These two here, not seeing that just yet. So whoever I'm talking to, if this is somebody, you know, that you're dealing with, this is very intransigent energy here. Yeah. And it does feel like, it feels like this energy is like so intransigent. I sort of want to do something with it, but I'm like, I know that I can't do anything with this energy here. Yeah, I can't. How do I get in there? How do I get through? How do I communicate? It's very, very intransigent. Yeah. Two of Wands, your energy is best to just leave that alone, especially with that Hanged Man. It's like just relinquish and release. Yeah. If that's your energy or somebody you're dealing with, you know, sometimes, especially if someone's backed themselves into a corner, if that is an argument, a conflict, or something's happened, and then somebody's like, like back themselves into a corner, it's like sometimes just give that person a way back, yeah? Because sometimes, especially with the King of Swords, no one wants to lose face, yeah? No one wants to lose face. So, you know, here you've got the Hanged Man, which is just, surrender. Surrender. Give that a bit of space. Give that a bit of space. It's a really hard energy. That's a really, really hard energy. Yeah? Just saying. So I've got two messages coming up here. This could be literal and it could be metaphorical. Yeah? So you've got the Two of Wands and the World card here. So I'm seeing travel, looking out yonder, but this could also be literally travel, like go and explore the world, get away from this energy, or it is literally like the world's your oyster. There's so much more of the world to see. There's so much more to know, to expand, to experience. And here, oh God, it's very stuck. It's very rigid. It's very compressed. This is like, ooh, suddenly space. Things are opening out. So if this is a metaphorical message, like, so if this is like a metaphor, as in like, look, I need to get in touch with my vision. So sorry, the camera stops after a certain amount of time. So if this is somebody, this is a metaphorical message, then it is literally like looking further afield, yeah? Not getting so stuck here. This feels very like, oh, this isn't going anywhere, whereas this is like, oh, suddenly opening out into the world. It could be that travel, literally, some travel would be beneficial, like getting away, going away, doing some travel, seeing some different parts of the world, seeing time and space slightly differently, and it can kind of shake this up a little bit. And it feels like there's nothing to do here with this energy, yeah? Even if this is your own, or even if this is someone you're dealing with, there doesn't feel anything to do here other than just to release it, relinquish it, and look further afield, yeah? So literally that could be getting on a plane or getting on a train, getting on a bus, going somewhere, seeing a new space, seeing a new world, or literally just expanding your horizons, maybe looking into a study group, a meet-up, a new hobby, and something else, like something to expand your horizons, something to open up your world a little bit, yeah? And then this Hanged Man just feels like whatever that situation is, just surrender it, yeah? A time for healing is really like, you know, this is, if this, like I said, if this has been born from conflict, then it is really like, we need to take a bit of the heat out of this, yeah? Because what's happened is, it becomes so, you loggerheads, no one gets anywhere, actually. So actually what we need is a little bit of space, a little bit of calm, particularly with these lilacs and these purples here. It's very divine, healing, forgiving energy, softening, letting go. If that evolves and changes in time, wonderful. If it doesn't, well, you know what? We're starting to build a new world. We're starting to open up a new world, yeah? And leave this behind. Because when the energy is like this, we can't get anywhere, yeah? And we have to surrender a little bit, let it go a little bit, so that it can heal itself, yeah? You know, we can't heal others, especially if this is someone you're dealing with. It's not for you to, you can't heal somebody else. They have to do their own healing. And if this is a time for healing, then it's a time for a pause. It's a time to say, okay, let's create some distance here. And hopefully that will heal. And this also is a healing time for you, yeah? So look out on a yonder. There's a bigger whole world out here. Doesn't have to be here like this, like stuck here with this energy of this King of Swords and the Eight of Swords. You know, we can start to look out a yonder, look to a new world, be a bit courageous. I love it, because I love that it's the cat. It's not the lion, it's the cat. So it's like, it's adventure with a small A, I like to say it, or courage with a small C. So it's not like big bursting through big barriers. It's just, but just a little bit, yeah? Little bit of courage. Expand your horizons. Leave that situation behind. Let it self-heal if it is to heal. And in the meantime, also focus on your own healing, yeah? Seeing things from a different perspective. This will help, yeah? This opening up the horizons, new world, you know, Hanged Man, upside down, starts to see things from a different perspective, starts to see things slightly differently. Then see where you are, yeah? Because I don't feel like you're going to want to keep going loggerheads with this energy here, yeah? You might start to find that there's a lot more joy and satisfaction and peace to be held in the new world, yeah? Anything else? No, I think that's it for today. So let me know if that resonates. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you again next week.